What's up, guys? Welcome to the video. This is going to be something super kind of off the dome, kind of impromptu, but something I was thinking about that I wanted to get out to you guys and to talk to you guys about. So recently I bought the FX3. I kind of switched over to Sony from Canon, and I got the Sony FX3. Got 24-70 lens, and I also got the, as a B cam kind of backup cam, I got the Sony A6500 with a kit lens for that. So that's kind of my setup right now, and I just want to talk about the FX3 mainly and why I have been so impressed with this camera and how good this camera actually is. First things first, my switch from Canon to Sony was not easy. I've always loved Canon cameras. They have been so good to me. They're super fun and easy to use, and it just makes shooting video and photo super fun and easy. I know there's been Sonys that have been kind of growing in popularity and getting better and better on the side, and I've kind of like turned a blind eye to that because I didn't want to hear about it. I love my Canons and I was happy where I was. And then the Sony a7S III came out, and then shortly after the FX3 with it, a little bit more of a cinema style body. I still didn't think anything of it. But then I started having issues with my Canon camera, and I got to the point where I decided that it was time for me to upgrade my camera. And I was looking at the Canon cameras and they didn't have exactly what I wanted, and I was looking at the Sony cameras and they had exactly what I wanted, and I kept trying to find alternatives so I didn't have to switch to Sony. But in the end, I bought the Sony FX3 and I have been loving it. So first things first, let me kind of explain my use case and what I use this camera for and why I think this is the perfect camera for me. Well, first off, I do a lot of weddings. It's kind of my main income source and my main thing I spend most of my time doing. Filming weddings, editing weddings. That's my main thing. And then on the side, I also do some real estate stuff. I do some music videos and a bunch of other stuff kind of here and there mixed in, but mostly it's weddings. And for that, I'm shooting 4K at 60 frames per second. And I found that the Canon cameras, the reason I went with this camera was the Canon cameras were not able to do 4K at 60 frames per second without overheating, and also while dual recording in 4K at 60 frames per second to two different cards at the same time. I know some people have never had this happen, but I have had SD cards that have corrupted and had issues, and just having two copies of the same files just makes everything so much easier, makes me feel so much better knowing that I have duplicates of everything if anything were to happen. So I've shot now probably 6, 8, maybe even more weddings with this, a very short period of time. And I've also shot a music video and I shot a real estate video. I have been thrilled with this camera. The sharpness is on point. The dynamic range is on point. The colors are on point. And even the just general use of this camera has been pretty easy. So as I'm talking right now, I'm gonna roll a bunch of clips of things that I've shot that I just feel like they look amazing. This camera produces some of the best video I've ever shot, if not the best video I've ever shot in my life. I know they say the gear doesn't matter, but to an extent it does, because I feel like with this camera I can point it at any direction, at anything, and it can kind of make it look quote-unquote cinematic. It does something to the image that I love. It makes everything look amazing, and it makes my job easier as a filmmaker because I don't have to try quite as hard to get those shots to look cinematic and look beautiful and amazing. And especially with skin tones, the colors, and just the sharpness, it's all perfect. I love the way it handles faces and people. It just has been impressing me non-stop. So I know there's been a lot of buzz online talking about this camera, talking about pros and cons, comparing it to other cameras, and just the fact that it's been compared to like the C70 and the FX6 and FX9, and it seems to pretty much hang in there as far as quality goes, and all those cameras being more expensive than this camera. I think it is a home run for Sony, and I think this truly is the perfect camera for me right now. And one other thing I almost forgot is that this camera also takes photos, and I know it's not like a focus of the camera on this or the a7S III. They were really designed with video in mind and photos kind of like an afterthought, but the photos this takes are actually really good. Because it's only 12 megapixels, they're not amazingly sharp. If you crop in and zoom in and scale in, it's not quite as sharp or as detailed as you might want it to be. It's not quite there, but it definitely gets the job done for little photo shoots here and there. If I were doing photography professionally as more of a focus of my career, I do it here and there, but if it were like a focus of mine, this would not be the camera I'd be using. I'd definitely find something else. If I were staying in Sony, I'd probably go with the a7 III or the A7R4. If I were with Canon, I'd probably be with the EOS R or the EOS R5. But as far as photos, this definitely gets the job done for me, because what I'm doing is probably 90%, maybe even 95% video, and that 5 or 10% is just photo, and this gets the job done fine for that. So if you are shooting on a camera right now and you are not happy with the quality you're getting, maybe you're thinking about upgrading but you weren't sure where to go, take this video into consideration. I have been thrilled with this camera, and it has been a game changer for me in my career and my quality, because the weddings I'm shooting are so much more beautiful. The real estate I'm shooting looks so much more beautiful. And with that, we are going to wrap up this video. Hope you got something out of it. Hopefully you learned something. Maybe this is the camera for you, maybe it's not, but at the minimum, maybe you at least got some entertainment out of this and enjoyed watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stick around for the next one. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, that helps a bunch, and leave a comment down below with things you want to see going forward in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one.